Hey there, it's Drew from Smokecraft Barbecue. Today I'm going to teach you how to spatchcock and smoke a turkey. So the key to any great turkey or poultry smoke is to start off with a really great brine. Today I'm going to teach you how to make a very simple brine that you can use for turkey or chicken at any time. First off, the basic brine recipe to follow no matter what you want to put into your brine is for every 1 gallon of water, you want to use half a cup of salt and half a cup of sugar. I'm going to do 4 gallons of brine. So I'm going to start off with 2 cups of kosher salt, 2 cups of granulated sugar, a 1/4 cup of some dried rosemary, a 1/4 cup of some dried thyme, a 1/4 cup of savory leaves, and a 1/4 cup of rubbed sage. In my pot, I'm going to mix that with 1.5 gallons of water. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to quickly stir this up before I put it on some heat. And then I'm going to put it on heat to bring it to a boil until all of the salt and sugar is completely melted. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and light up my fire here. Turn on my outdoor fryer since we're cooking outside today. As we heat up our brine, we want to make sure we continue to stir it until the salt and sugar begins to melt, because we don't want to burn the salt and sugar on the bottom of the pan. So by continuing to stir it as the water begins to heat up, it's going to help not only mix it, but also ensure that we don't get any kind of burn flavor in our brine that's going to go on our birds. And we're just going to let that come to a boil. All right, today, as we get ready to put the turkey into a brine, we're going to start off by spatchcocking this bird. Now, this is a whole turkey right here. This is about a 13-pound turkey. Now, when you cook a turkey, there are multiple ways to do it, but spatchcocking has become more popular for smoking because it's going to help it retain more moisture and it's going to cook faster. So you're able to cook a much bigger bird much faster by using this technique. So when your whole bird comes in, it's leaking a little bit. I got a puncture in my bag here, but that's okay because most turkeys are going to come in frozen and this one is no exception. So it's been thawing. It's going to have a little bit of juice in the bag. Don't worry about that. It's totally fine. So we're going to go ahead and take the turkey out. That's a nice looking bird right there. I'm just going to clean up the board just a little bit here. And I'm just using one of these disposable cutting boards today to make my life easy outside. All right. So every turkey that comes in is going to have one of these temperature probes. We're going to go ahead and take it out because this is going to take your bird too far. You don't want to use this when you're actually cooking a bird in a smoker. So we're going to use an actual probe to monitor our temperature as we go. Now, as we spatchcock this bird, we got to take out the insides that come inside your birds. It's going to come with all the giblets inside to make your gravy. It's going to come with the neck inside of it as well. And we're going to go ahead and take all of that out and get rid of it because we don't need that for today. And we're going to pull off this plastic piece that holds it all together. Now, this is a really good sized turkey here. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to get ready to spatchcock this. Now, spatchcocking essentially means that we're going to cut this in half, but it's still going to hold together as one bird. So when we spatchcock this bird, we're going to turn it over, and this bone right here, this is the backbone. And this backbone here, we're essentially going to cut it out and then break the bird open. So a good pair, depending on your comfort level, you get a good pair of poultry shears, and you're going to just start cutting right along the side of the backbone. Now, you can use this exact same technique when you're doing a chicken or any other bird. I've done this with ducks before, and this one is definitely going to be tough due to its size. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in here with my chef's knife instead. And I'm going to go ahead and cut it right along that backbone, right down the middle there, carefully, all the way down. And I'm going to turn it around, and now I'm going to cut it, come back, and do the exact same thing right along that backbone, so I'm not losing too much of my bird. You can hear it just cutting right through where that bone is. Oh, and I'm pulling it apart here, so let me get back in here with my scissors. Cut it right along. There we go. Nice break right through, so we just got the thigh. There we go. And the bigger the bird, the more challenging this becomes. So now we've taken out the backbone and we've exposed the middle of the bird. And you can save that part for the gravy if you'd like. Now, to help make our life easier here, as we turn this over, this is a big bird. So we're gonna flip it over like this, bring it back to the front, begin to pull those thighs out, and now we're gonna push down on the breastbone right here. And we're basically gonna break it so it goes flat. Now, just how we position the wings, and this one only has one wingtip, but I like to position it out wide. Now you can see I have a nice flat bird that's gonna go into the smoker. By going ahead and breaking it in half like this, it's gonna cook much faster, it's gonna keep more moisture, and it's gonna make it a whole lot easier to carve up when we're done. So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna go ahead and get this into some brine. I always think it's important to brine your turkeys, which is why we made that amazing herb brine. So now that we've broken it, putting it down, we're gonna go ahead and put it into a container. Just like we would put a regular bird. And we're gonna take some of our herb brine. And when you strain your brine out, you want to strain those herbs out on top, or anything on top, because we don't want this brine, all the herbs sticking to it. And we're gonna pour it through a strainer right on top of our bird until the bird's completely covered. And it's okay if a couple pieces get through. And there we go. Our whole bird's now covered in the brine. The general rule when brining a bird is you want to brine it 1 hour per pound of meat. So this is a 12.5 pound bird. So we're going to go ahead and brine this overnight for 12 hours and get it ready to smoke tomorrow. Today for our turkeys, we're going to be cooking with B&B oak lump charcoal. We're gonna light our fire today with these B&B Sure Start fire starters. It's been overnight now, it's the next day, and we have this spatchcock turkey ready to go into our smoker. So first thing we gotta do, we gotta get it out of its brine that it's been sitting in while it's been absorbing all these amazing, great flavors. We're gonna go ahead and bring it right out here. Oh, man, just the herb smell is just so great. And we're just gonna let it drain for just a second here. Get all that liquid off of it. And we're gonna bring it out into our pan here. Now, since this, see, we still got some liquid on the backside there, so good thing we got in the pan, we'll just drain it out. Now, as we spatchcock this bird, it means that this bird is completely open now. So we're gonna be able to get smoke from both sides. If you want a really crispy skin, you should let this thing dry for 12 to 24 hours before you cook it. But we're gonna go ahead and get moving forward today, and we're gonna go ahead and show you what to do without doing that. But what I'm gonna do here now that I got this bird ready to go right into its pan, I'm gonna go ahead and season it up on both sides. Because this bird has been spatchcocked, we're gonna get all this great flavor on both sides of it. So we're gonna go ahead today and we're gonna cook with our B&B charcoal Texas chicken scratch rub. This is a really great poultry rub, has lots of great aromatics, lots of great flavors, and it works really well on turkey as well. So don't be afraid by finding a rub that says it's a chicken rub. Anything that's a chicken or poultry rub will go great on turkey. So your favorite rub, we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna go ahead and season up this inside here. And hold your rub up high. You wanna hold your rub about 8 to 12 inches above, just going with the wrist back and forth, and go a little heavy on the inside of this here, since this is the bottom. And a lot of juices are gonna come out, so we wanna go a little bit heavier on the bottom and let it get all that flavor and absorb it right in. Now, because I'm taking it right out of the brine, it's already wet, it's already absorbing in really fast. If you've let this dry, you may wanna let this sit for about 20 to 30 minutes before you flip it. But you can see already inside here, all this great flavor is already beginning to soak right in. So we're gonna go ahead and flip it and get it ready for its final cook here. You can see as I lift it up, none of that rub came off. So that's always a good indicator if your rub is ready to go. Now notice I'm working with one hand because I got a clean hand and a dirty hand. So, all right, so we've got this spatchcocked bird. So what this means now is as I cook it, it is laid out all the way in the pan. So you can see I have the thighs and the legs sticking out on the sides. And then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna bend these wings down. This wing already has the tip unfortunately cut, but you can see what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to bend them underneath so they stay underneath as it cooks. It'd be easier if I put a glove back on, but I want that clean hand. There we go. There we go. Nice and clean. All right, so I got all of it inside the pan. The pan is gonna let all the juices drip from underneath it. You can see the bird is all here, so we're gonna just do the same thing now. One fell swoop, take our chicken scratch and just go nice and evenly over the entire bird and get all of it covered in that rub. Man, look at that color. And that's it. And I'm gonna just bounce a little off my hand here to get the edges of these chicken legs, because who doesn't like, or of turkey legs, because who doesn't want the turkey leg at the table? And bounce a little off on that breast as well. Make sure you got the breast all covered. All right, and this one, because this leg is being stubborn, or the wing's being stubborn, just gotta get it right in there. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna let this sit for about 15 to 30 minutes. Let it begin to absorb in, and then I'm gonna show you the final step before we go ahead and get it into the smoker. Our smoker's now at temp for the turkey, so we're gonna go ahead and toss in some B&B apple wood chunks inside with the oak lump charcoal. This is gonna give us the flavors that we want on this. Now you wanna do this about 15 minutes before you put your bird in, so the chunks can start catching on fire and continue to burn clean, just like we see with the smoke coming out of the chimney right now. So let's go ahead and toss these in. And we're just gonna toss them around the fire so they burn as it cooks. It's been about 20 minutes now, and we've had the chicken scratch soaking in to the bird. So now as we get ready to go ahead and put in the smoker, I'm gonna take some Can't Believe It's Not Butter, spray butter, and spray the top of this bird so it gets nice and crispy skin. I know some of you out there have strong feelings about spray butter, and if you know a better way to do this with real butter, leave a comment below and let me know. But the easiest way I have found to date is taking some spray butter, and we're just gonna spray it nice and evenly over the top, and this is gonna help crisp up that skin as this bird cooks. Now this bird, as a spatchcock bird, will cook faster than a regular whole turkey. So you want to make sure you do everything you can to get this skin nice and crispy if you want crispy skin, which is always one of the best parts of the turkey. All right, and that looks pretty good. So let's now go ahead and get this into the smoker. Our 270 KC is at temp right now, so we're gonna go ahead and get this in. We've already put the wood chunk in, so you can see we're burning nice and clean smoke out the top of the smokestack, which is important when you're loading your meat. So let's go ahead and put this turkey in. right into the middle of our smoker. And we're gonna go ahead and slide it right in, just like that. And I'm gonna take a probe, and I'm gonna put a probe into one of the breasts. I wanna take the breast to 160 degrees. 160 degrees. The reason I wanna go 160 is because it's gonna continue to cook just a little bit past when I take it out to get to that perfect 165. If you go too far, you're gonna dry out your bird inadvertently. So take it to 160, we check it, and we look at it from there. So it's now into the smoker. I expect this is gonna take just a couple hours to cook, and we'll show you the rest of the process along the way. All right, it's been 2.5 hours since we put that spatchcock turkey in, and right now it is at 159.5 degrees, so it is time to pull it out. Now, one of the amazing things is this was a 13-pound turkey that we just smoked in 2.5 hours. So let's go ahead, let's pull it out, let's take a look. We're gonna let it rest for a minute before we try, but I just can't wait to see how it turned out today. Oh, there's that alarm. We know it's ready. Oh my goodness. Ooh. Oh, well, there we go. That right there, folks, that is an amazing looking piece of meat. I'm so excited to try this, but we can't try it right away. We've taken it to 160 degrees, and the temperature is going to continue to rise on its own. So what we're going to do right now is we're just going to go ahead and rest this, let it just sit and rest for a few minutes before we cut into it. And then I'm going to show you how we're going to take it apart and cut it up and eat it. And oh, I just can't wait. It just looks so good. We've waited patiently for 20 minutes for the spatchcock bird just to settle in, and now I cannot wait to try it. So what's really cool about the spatchcock bird here is as we take it out of the pan, is this thing is already ready to slice into different portions right to go on your dinner table. But we're gonna go ahead and get into it right now. We're gonna test out the breast, which is the most sensitive part of the bird, just to see how it came out and see if we got this thing right. So without further ado, let's cut into it. Oh man, you can see the juice just pouring out, and I'm just gonna cut a sliver of a slice right out of the middle here. Oh my goodness. This thing right here, the juice is just pouring out of it, and it is absolutely gorgeous. Oh, look at that. You can see the moisture just pouring out of the breast. Now I got rub on my hands, but that moisture is just all right there. This thing is perfectly cooked. You got a slight smoke ring from the smoke. You know what? Enough talk. It's time for the true test. Wow. That tenderness, that is unreal. Brining this bird, cooking it wide open the way we did in the smoker. I mean, that's absolutely incredible. Folks, you gotta try this at home. If you're looking to cook a turkey real fast, looking to cook something different, wow your friends with presentation, spatchcocking is definitely the way to go. I look forward to hearing you guys' feedbacks in the comments down below. But thanks for watching. If you guys are in Arlington, Virginia, or in the Washington, D.C. area, come visit me at the restaurant Smokecraft Modern Barbecue. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Smokecraft BBQ. From all of us, you guys have a happy holidays. I'm just gonna keep eating this turkey.